It would be impossible to argue that faith in an ultimate solution, say a cure for cancer, has driven a great deal of progress and spurred the acquisition of a great deal of knowledge over time. You say, though, that absolute faith in an ultimate solution can hinder progress after a certain point. Will you explain that?
Yes, certainly. This is in philosophy the debate about two different meanings of the phrase that humans are perfectible. So in one meaning of that, it means that there is a perfect state that we can reach if we only do the right thing, like chant the right syllables or whatever, or a utopia, a perfect society that we can reach if only we kill the right people, and so on. And that notion of perfectibility leads to stagnation and tyranny. But the other notion of perfectibility, which is that improvement is always possible, which in some ways is equally optimistic, but in other ways is much more rational, and is also true. And that's the sense of perfectibility that I argue for, that problems are always soluble. Problems are also inevitable. And that's why we really have no choice but to embark on an open-ended pursuit of knowledge and good explanations.
So there's always room for improvement.
Yes.
It's interesting. Just this morning on the radio, there was a story about the long philosophy of thinking that people are either auditory or visual learners has been disproven, at least in one large study. And it's funny because it's one of those things that for a long time we based our education systems around this idea that we understood how people learn one way or another and we could cater to that. Had we not continued to question that, we wouldn't have gotten to the place where maybe we can teach even better.
Yes, I hadn't heard of that study, but it sounds extremely plausible to me, and I would have expected that to be so. I would even go further, and I would say that even if it had been true that some people are auditory and some people are visual, this is itself merely a problem that people could overcome if they wanted to. So an auditory person could become visual if they were interested in doing so. The reason I think that would have been true is that we are general-purpose knowledge-creating machines.